A one-eyed leopard emerged from the shadows, moving silently toward Elena, who lay trapped and helpless in a poacher's snare. Wildlife traffickers hunting for cubs had set this trap. The wire cut deep into Elena's ankle, blood soaking her torn pants. Every movement sent searing pain through her leg. The leopard stopped just 3 feet away, its single golden eye locked onto Elena's. The surrounding bush fell silent. Even the insects stopped buzzing. Death felt certain. Elena's heart hammered against her ribs. She studied the cat's scarred face, searching for any sign of recognition. Could this predator possibly remember her? Then she saw it. The empty eye socket on the left side. This wasn't just any leopard. A memory flashed back. 6 months ago, a terrified cub. But Elena hadn't saved this leopard. She'd rescued a young cub, separated from its mother and tangled in a poacher's net. A story you can watch in a previous video on our channel. This one-eyed cat must be the mother, who had been desperately searching when Elena freed her baby. Now, this powerful predator was Elena's only hope of survival. The leopard's gaze shifted from Elena's face to the wire snare. She lowered her head, sniffing the metal trap carefully. A soft chuffing sound emerged from her throat. Not a growl, but a greeting, the kind mother leopards use with cubs. Her body relaxed slightly, tail swishing slowly. Those movements whispered, "I remember. I understand." Elena's voice came out as a hoarse whisper. "You remember. Your baby." I helped her. The leopard's ear twitched at the familiar sound. Then, with astonishing gentleness, she began working on the snare. Her powerful jaws closed around the wire, carefully avoiding Elena's torn skin. She pulled gently, testing the tension. Those sharp teeth, designed to crush bone, moved with surgical precision. But the snare was industrial-grade steel, designed for animals far larger than humans. Each tug made Elena wince, not from the leopard's actions, but from the wire's cruel grip tightening. Hope and fear warred in her chest. What if those jaws slipped? What if instinct overtook intention? Progress was agonizingly slow. Then the wind shifted. The leopard's head snapped up, her single eye fixed on the brush beyond. Elena heard it, the distinctive twitter and yip of African wild dogs. The pack was close, drawn by the scent of blood. Shadows moved between the acacia trees. Not one, not two. 7 dogs, maybe more. The leopard released the snare immediately. She stepped over Elena's body, positioning herself between the woman and the approaching threat. Her spotted coat bristled. A deep, rumbling growl erupted from her chest, a sound that vibrated through the ground. The wild dogs emerged from the bush, their painted coats stark against the golden grass. The pack's leader, a large female with torn ears, locked eyes with the leopard. These dogs were coordinated hunters, fearless and relentless. A single leopard would typically flee to the trees, but this one stood firm, tail lashing. Would she really fight an entire pack for a human? Would the rescue end here? Keep watching. The dogs attacked as one. The leopard met them with explosive fury. She swiped at the first attacker, razor claws raking through flesh. Blood sprayed into the dust. She spun, catching another dog by the throat and shaking it violently. The dogs circled, darting in and out, trying to overwhelm her with numbers. Dust rose in clouds. Savage snarls filled the air. Elena could only watch, helpless, her heart hammering. The leopard was fighting for her. A dog's teeth found the leopard's hind leg. She roared, but didn't retreat. With a final, terrifying charge, she drove the pack back. The wild dogs vanished into the savannah, their desperate yips fading into silence. The leopard limped back to Elena, fresh blood dripping from her wounded hind leg. But she didn't leave. She sat beside the trapped woman, her single golden eye studying the snare once more. She nosed Elena's hand gently, then looked at the wire, then back. Communication without words. If you believe kindness creates unbreakable bonds, leave a comment below. Elena understood immediately. The leopard couldn't break the industrial wire alone. But there was another way. Elena's veterinary kit was still strapped to her belt. With trembling, blood-stained fingers, she pulled out wire cutters she used for removing snares. The leopard watched intently. Elena positioned the cutters and nodded. The cat understood.
It's okay.
She grabbed the snare in her jaws and pulled steadily, creating tension. Elena squeezed with every ounce of strength. The wire resisted, groaned, then snap! Freedom. Elena collapsed backward, dizzy from blood loss, but the leopard suddenly stiffened, ears forward. More sounds. Dogs returning? Number. Different. Human voices. Rough laughter. Boots crushing dry grass. The traffickers were coming back to check their trap. The leopard nudged Elena's shoulder, urging movement. Elena struggled to her feet, leaning on a termite mound. The leopard positioned herself between Elena and the approaching voices, a living shield. Then she did something extraordinary. She gestured with her head toward a narrow game trail hidden in the grass, leading deeper into safety. The message was clear. This way. Elena limped down the path. The leopard stayed back, watching for the traffickers. Only when Elena was far enough did she follow, silent as a shadow. Together, they moved through the wilderness, predator and prey transformed into partners. Eventually, they reached a stream. Elena collapsed, washing her wound. The leopard sat nearby, keeping watch. For several minutes, they rested together in peaceful silence. Then the leopard rose, touched her nose gently to Elena's hand, and melted into the bush. Elena understood then what she had always believed. Kindness transcends species. Compassion creates bonds stronger than fear. What you give to the world gives back. Elena was rescued by her own act of mercy, the circle of goodness complete. But the story wasn't over. 3 days later, Elena heard a familiar sound outside the ranger station, that distinctive chuff. She looked out. There stood the one-eyed mother, and beside her, the cub Elena had saved, now nearly grown. They had both returned, but they weren't alone. Behind them, shadowy shapes moved in the darkness. More leopards? Something else entirely? Before Elena could react, vehicle headlights appeared on the horizon. A convoy approaching fast. Armed men. Were they coming for Elena? For the leopards? What happens next will shock you. Share this video with someone who needs to believe in compassion. Subscribe now so you don't miss the next chapter. Because in the African wild, every act of kindness creates ripples. And this incredible story has only just begun.